Good morning, guys. Today we're going to be trying out the Too Faced's new Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation from the Peaches and Cream collection. So I got mine in the color Natural Beige. I just got a sample of it. I wasn't sure I wanted to buy the full container yet. I wanted to try it out, and we're going to try it out together and wear it all day and see how it works. Right now you can purchase it in 12 different colors. There is a range from light to kind of darker. It doesn't go as dark as most people would like it to, so there's not a very big range of colors just yet, and I'm hoping that they will come out with more for people that would like to try this. Also, it is $26. It is a medium coverage foundation. It is for sensitive, normal, dry, combination, and oily skins, and it is supposed to be a matte finish. It's also supposed to wear up to 14 hours. Be very comfortable matte foundation for a flawless looking complexion. It's supposed to be oil free and smells like peaches and sweet fig cream. And paraben free, sulfate free, and all that. That's Too Faced is normally like that. So we're gonna go ahead and just get on with this. So I did watch Jen from Jen Loves Reviews open hers yesterday, and she did say that it was a very light coverage. So I think I'm gonna go in with a brush with this particular foundation. She compared it to a BB cream rather than a regular type of foundation. And so BB creams are obviously really light. I'm gonna try this with the brush first, see how that works, and if I need to, I will go through and use a sponge and sponge it out. So I'm not even going to do a sponge and a brush. I'm just going to do a brush first. I have the color Natural Beige. I'm going to go ahead and just start putting this on with this brush. I don't think it has like a really deep smell to it of peach. I could smell the peach, but I don't feel like it's an overwhelming smell of peach. So this might not be too bad for people that are sensitive with scents and stuff like that. So this does seem to be a little bit of yellow undertone, and this is the Natural Beige, so that's something to be aware of. All of them seem to have a really like deep yellow undertone. So I didn't try like the lightest ones, but the ones that I was looking at, it went from like it didn't have like a pink undertone. I couldn't find a pink undertone. It was just yellow and then more yellow. So that's definitely something to be aware of. All right, so here's one side here. The side with the foundation and then the side without. And that's just the one coat. It seems to be covering everything really well. It doesn't feel funky or anything like that on the skin. And I think that it does dry down to a matte, but at first it is kind of a little dewy. So I'm going to go ahead and go on with the other side. Alright, so that's what it looks like on the full face. I'm just going to take just a little bit here in the center and just try to fill in some of the redness that I have. Alright, so that's what it looks like all over the face. Definitely dries down really quick. It stays kind of a little kind of dewy looking, but when you get close, it's definitely matte. Like I said, all the ones that I tried out had a little bit of a yellow undertone. I didn't see any that didn't have the yellow undertone that were close to my skin color. So I wish Too Faced would come out with more of like a pink, more of a pink undertone, or you know, something more of a neutral undertone. But I did notice even with the Born This Way, it was the same kind of situation. So maybe eventually they'll come out with something that's not so yellow undertoned, but right now that's pretty much what they had. So this was the closest to my skin tone, and I think it's okay, but it is a little yellow for the most part. I definitely can tell that I have a foundation on. I was under the impression that this was going to be more like a BB cream, but it does feel like a foundation to me, just like a lightweight matte foundation. So I can see it a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's definitely sitting in my pores really good, and I don't mind the way this looks right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on. What time is it? I'm running completely late today. 7:03 in the morning. I hope you guys can see that. So I shall be back here in a little bit with all my makeup on and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. Makeup goes very nicely on top of it. Nothing moved around. It actually settles really nice in my pores. I don't see any weird like pore pull up type foundation in my nose pores or in my pores right here on the side. It's not caking in the lines of my forehead or the lines that I have here on the sides of my face, and I think so far so good. It's doing a light coverage of some of the scarring that I have here. So this could probably build up to full coverage, but for right now it's like a medium full coverage. And I did put just a second tiny little layer here in the middle, but not here on the side. So far, even though I didn't do the side here, I think it's doing really rather well. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to work. I'll be back on my lunch break to show you what it looks like at that point. Hopefully it keeps the oils at bay, which is what it says it will do. And then at the end of the day, see how we like this foundation throughout the day. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys. It is 1:08 in the afternoon. If my phone would just stay on. There we go, 1:08 in the afternoon. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so we have had this foundation on for 6 hours. I feel like it's doing really well. You can kind of see here in the area where I have my glasses where it's kind of rubbed off just a little bit. I do feel like I am kind of oily, but I don't think it's a bad oily. I've been over the top oily and it's felt weird, but this is kind of like an oily where the foundation is really holding it back. So I'm gonna grab a blotting paper here, go ahead and just blot in my T-zone here, and let's see what that does. So a little bit of the foundation came off with the blotting paper. I don't know if you can kind of see that, just a little bit, nothing too over the top. So it does say that this foundation is transfer proof. So as far as like talking on the phone and stuff, let me just do this. I don't talk like this on the phone, but yeah, it's not coming off on my phone. Just my oils are, so it is transfer proof. But so far so good. I think it's doing really well. All I had to do on my nose is just kind of rub it there, and then it just kind of filled in that area where my glasses are. It's still doing really good here and here and just all over my face. I think it's doing really well. The one thing I can say is that when my oils start to come through, and you can't really see them, but my oils under the foundation, my pores look a little different. And then now that I've blotted, they look back to normal. So that's something to be aware of. You may want to keep blotting papers with you at all times throughout the day with this foundation if you get oily, if you tend to get oily. Other than that, I think if you have like normal to regular skin, or normal skin, then it'll be fine. But so far, so good. Like I said, we're 6 hours in. I'm gonna wear it as long as I can. I'm gonna try to wear it for the whole 14 hours is what the claim is of this foundation, but we'll see. So far, so good. I think it's doing really, really well. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go and get stuff ready for dinner. Then I'm gonna head back to work, and I shall talk to you guys at the end of the day. All right, guys. Bye. It is 6:05 in the evening, and we are doing the last check-in. We started at 7 o'clock in the morning, and so that would be 11 hours that we've had this foundation on. Just barely am I starting to get just a little oily here in my T-zone. When I came home for lunch today at the 6 hour mark, I believe, I think it was 6 hour mark, I was just starting to get oily then as well, but it wasn't like oily like I've seen with other foundations that I've used. So I'm gonna just take this blotting paper here and just blot just that area where I'm getting oily. Let's see, you can see it. Some of the foundation is coming off, and again, the claim is that it's transfer proof, but I don't, let me go ahead and show you there. You can kind of see that in there. I don't think that it's not transfer proof. Actually, I believe that this is a transfer proof type of foundation, and I really do like that claim. And I believe that the claim is true. Just because when I took off my sweater, I had like a dark black sweater on this afternoon. Well, it was a dark blue sweater this afternoon. And normally the sweater will get like foundation here in this area. It was a hoodie, and there was no foundation on my hoodie today. So I do feel like it is transfer proof. It has held really well throughout the day, and this right here, I actually was picking at my face, so that's not the foundation removing itself, that's me picking at my face because I do that. But I think it's a really good foundation if you like a matte foundation. This has really good coverage. It's literally kept my face pretty much matte throughout the day, except for tiny bits of, you know, the oils coming through. And even that, when the oils came through, it wasn't anything over the top where you can actually see it. I almost had to, I mean, it was just barely pieces of oil. And that's with just using the Smashbox Photo Finish, and I believe I used the Smashbox Photo Finish primer in the oil free. So I used the clear and then the pour in the center of my face. So I really think that I want to pick up their primer for this particular foundation and then buy this foundation, because I just have the tester. I think that this is a good foundation, and I would highly suggest it if you're looking for this type of matte with good coverage type of foundation. Like I said, it doesn't go to full coverage. It just kind of does like a medium to full coverage, not full coverage. So I think you can build it, but I think if you put more on top of it, it may get a little cakey. It actually is not like the other, the Born This Way. I don't believe it's much like this at all. This one goes full coverage right away on my face, and this one didn't. It kind of stood a little dewy for a minute, and then I was able to set. So I didn't put any concealer under my eyes today. I just used the foundation, but as you can see, like, it does really well just all on its own without putting anything on top of it. I really wanted to see how it was going to last just by itself throughout the day, and I think it did a fabulous job. I really like this. This is one that I will purchase because I do think it does a fabulous job. It does tend to, you know, there's here in my nose area, it does crease just a little bit there. I didn't get any creasing on my forehead up here, so that was really nice. I just really like this. I think this is a good one. I think that if you're on the fence about it, I would go over to Sephora if you have a Sephora near you and get a sample and just look at some of the colors that they have there, because like I said this morning, the color range is kind of off. And I did find that too with the Born This Way. They run a little yellow, and I would hope that at some point Jared will do like a neutral and a pink toned and then a yellow toned. That way some of us that don't have so much yellow in our skin will be able to get a better match. But I really do like this foundation. So now that I've told you how much I like this foundation, let's see where the coverage is at this point in time. So I'm going to go just right down the middle of my forehead. And there we go. Here's the side with the foundation still. Here's the side without the foundation. And here's both. And this is 11 hours. I think it's a great foundation. I'm giving it a thumbs up. I think it's a great foundation. I'm going to wear it again tomorrow. And if anything changes on my thoughts on it, I'll put it down in the description. But this video will be up tomorrow, so you'll have to come back to it later on, because then I will put that updated stuff on there. And if not, you know, if you guys ever have any questions about when I bought this, when I buy it, if I continue to wear it and like it, just ask me. I'll let you know for sure. But I really do like this foundation. So alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this foundation review. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. And I will see you guys either on Sunday or next Tuesday. Alright, have a good evening. Bye bye.